and Shy City and around the world. Welcome to another episode of Chicago's ILLectuals podcast. And today we have Miss Veronica White. How are you, my dear?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm feeling pretty good about my life right now.
That's amazing. I feel the exact same way.
Yeah. A lot of that is due to people like you. So let's just jump right into it. Tell the world a little bit about your background, where you come from, what side of town you come from, where'd you go to school, things like that. How'd you grow up?
Okay, sounds good. How far you want me to go back? Grammar school, high school, college?
Yeah, give us a chronology. Just start from the neighborhood that you came up in and start from grammar school.
Okay, so I grew up on the south side of Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
in Englewood.
Oh, okay.
Much better place than it is now.
Mm-hmm.
My first school was St. Raphael. I went to Catholic school. My mom put me in Catholic school against my dad's wishes.
Mm-hmm.
From Catholic school, I went to elementary school, Hartwell Elementary, which has just been renamed this year. Mm-hmm. And I also donated 210 book bags to that school this year.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Your philanthropic endeavors. We'll get to that.
Okay, so that's grammar school. Then from there, I moved out to Bellwood with my brothers. I went to Roosevelt Junior High, Proviso West for high school. College, I went to 3 of the 5 city colleges, Kennedy King, Malcolm X, Olive Harvey. I graduated from Kennedy King with an associate's.
Okay.
Governor State University for my bachelor's. In Keller Division of DeVry for my master's. I have a master's in accounting and financial management.
Check that out.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty impressive. And let me ask you this. What are your values? Yeah.
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Good question. I have about between 5 and 7 core personal values that I use, right? Mm-hmm. And the reason, I'm going to let you know my values are, but the reason I picked these as my personal core values is because each one can represent me personally. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I can extend that offer. I can extend it to someone else. So it's responsibility, accountability, respect, forgiveness, self-love. I think I'm missing one, but those are the majority of my personal core values.
I like that. You know, one thing I've always appreciated about you, and I've known you for a while, is that you've always presented yourself as a lady. Like, I think I've only heard you curse one time in like 20 years.
Wow.
Why did you curse?
No, I just said, wow. That's
true. Okay. Because I know why you cursed. I don't want to tell the world why you did it, but that's amazing to me, though. That is amazing, especially in today's society and the way that it's structured and with all of the external influences and stuff like that. That is just amazing to me. I really appreciate it. So where did you get your early mindset? Can you tell me about some of your early influences?
So it was my family and my village, right? So I'm going to name my grandmother, my stepmother, Pookie, my mother and father, my Uncle Hat, and a host of other people. But those people I mentioned, there's some unique stories that surrounding why they took ownership in me as a child and wanted to make sure I got certain lessons that they felt they should teach me. So I got lessons.
one other thing that I know about you is that you always seem to be a pretty self-directed person, meaning like you don't really follow trends. You know, you kind of march to the beat of your own drum. I just want to ask you about one of the funny stories that you've told me over the years. Can you tell us about your Don Juan story when you met Don Juan?
Oh, met Don Juan a couple of times. So are you talking about when we went to his church or at a bar where he wanted to be in
I
his
think this was the first time that you met him and you didn't know who he was, and you were like asking him all of these interrogative questions.
Okay. Yes. No, I can't say that I didn't know who Don Juan was, right? But I was curious of how he can get young ladies to do the things that he wanted them to do, and then they bring him the money for it. So I just wanted to understand, did he have the gift of gab that can do that? So that's why I asked him several different questions.
What was it like talking to him though? He's funny.
Good Lord. I mean, I was a teenager in a club that I probably should not have been in anyway because I wasn't old enough.
I don't think I knew that part of the story. Oh my goodness. All right, let's pivot back to your professional career.
Awesome.
Tell us a little bit about why you chose accounting to be an accounting professional.
Always loved math. So growing up, there were always two careers I was into. Real estate, because that's what was modeled in front of me. My dad has done real estate he still does real estate, 40 plus years or longer. And accounting, someone that's good in math and that keeps the books. In reference to accounting and having time management skills, it's good to have it. I'm not saying all accountants have time management or are very organized. Those are skills that I have developed over the years. But I'm not saying that accountant actually needs those skills.
What skills do accountants need?
The ability to balance and know that there's a proper order of things or what to look for. It depends on which type of accounting. But yeah, for right now, my main area is financial accounting, personal finances. Okay. So for that, I want to stress to people about budgeting and prepare for what you're about to do.
So are you saying that there are many different genres of accounting or a few different genres? Because I don't think I really knew that. Like,
yes, in accounting, there's tax accounting, there's financial accounting, there's financial accounting for personal and business. There's forensic accounting. Yeah, there's a wide variety. It's corporate accounting. It's personal. Yeah, it's several different types of accounting.
Did you say forensic as well?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's cool.
A person can take your transactions and dictate your behavior based on your spending.
Oh. Is that what you do? Okay, gotcha. So let's move a little bit into your entrepreneurial endeavors. In addition to your professional career, I know that you have several other businesses, which are what? Can you explain those?
Yes, I have a tax business. I have a consulting firm. I have a non-for-profit, real estate, investing. A couple of businesses I'm working on right now is to have a smoke shop.
Like a cigar shop?
Cigar shop.
You the bomb. I'm glad you thought about us. Yeah. So can you tell the world a little bit about what you do in your nonprofit.
Okay.
As well as the name of it, you can share the website and all of those things.
Thank you. It's help. My non-for-profit is called Help from a Sister. Mm-hmm. Right. And for the last 4 years, I've been donating book bags filled with school supplies to different communities, mainly the communities I grew up in and the ones that I do business in. Mm-hmm. So I have an office in Calumet City. We give away so many book bags in Calumet City. My daughter had a yogurt franchise and we gave away book bags and I went to high school in Bellwood. I took book bags out to Bellwood, 2 locations. Again, I mentioned Carwell Elementary, a grammar school that I attended. I took book bags there, and then 2 locations in Chicago where we gave out book bags filled with school supplies. So that's one. We also do a food pantry on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We give away free food. Mm-hmm. I've taken kids to the circus. I've had a cookout in my backyard for an afternoon of fun. Have kids come out. We play with water balloons. We play with the water. And they have fun and just go out there and be a kid. Enjoy being a kid.
Yeah. We really appreciate that. That's like a sense of community. Let me ask you, who are some of the professional partnerships that you develop who are supporting you in your philanthropic and entrepreneurial endeavors?
I have a couple of different partners. So ENA Tax Service helps me. My uncle, he also does taxes. His name is Ernest. And my uncle E.T., both of them were very instrumental in helping me organize and donate for items that I needed where I might have fell short. They're there. My brother Calvin works for the city of Chicago. It's always willing. Him and his family comes out in hands. Deal to Heal, a young man that I met in my networking group, he has a podcast. Mm-hmm. He comes out and helps and contributes what he can. There's a list of people that Gladys Disability Agency, she's came out, volunteered her service, and gave donations. It's a list. I'm so thankful and appreciative for all the help.
So where do you get these book bags and these supplies and these gift cards and all of these things? Because I've seen you over the years, and I'm like, she is definitely a mover and a shaker. Like, you know how to develop business relationships. Because I think I've seen you have some big box companies donate to you as well, right?
Not yet. I'm waiting for that. So, right before I really started soliciting and asking people, I wanted to have a track record of what I can get done by myself.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So majority of my donations now is me choosing to put that money aside to donate it and give it to someone else or to help. But now that I have documentation and proof, social proof showing, hey, this is what I do, this is how I spend the money, now I can go out and ask people to contribute, so therefore I can do more. And that's why I decided to do a podcast. Therefore now I can let people know what I'm doing and shine light on them of what they're doing also and provide a platform, just like you. Like, I'm so happy for you. And you just now is going back for your doctorate. Like, you are such, as much as you probably mentioned me over the years, please know I'm always sharing the information in reference to you and how I've been knowing you 20 plus years and your life has done a 180. From when I met you, and then you're like, okay, well, can I say your age? You decided to go back to get to school after you turned your later years after 35?
I was in my mid-30s, yeah. Mid-30s.
Yeah. And some people at that age feel like they can't go and try to do more. And when they tell me, I was like, no. I have a young man that decided in his late 30s that he wanted to go back to school. And not only did he go back to school, he went in back to school and would receive honors and scholars and different things. So yeah, it can be done. It's just your determination.
Mm-hmm.
So I am so proud of you.
I appreciate that. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. So I think you said that you've been reaching disadvantaged communities through your nonprofit for about 4 years now? For about 4 years?
Yes.
Okay.
2020.
Okay. Off the top of your head, and this is just off the top of your head, well, I know you probably have the numbers because you're a numbers person. About how many people do you think that you've been able to reach in a span of 4 years?
Good question. I'm going to say over 3,000. I've given away close to 2,000 book bags, right? That's not me going out and we fed 350 homeless people. That's not me having an event in my backyard with kids or taking some other kids to the circus, right? In addition to other people that have projects that I go and assist on. Like next month, October of 2023, I'm going to South Africa on a mission trip to take 12,000 books over there.
That is so wonderful, man. So wonderful. Can you share with the world some of the countries that you've been to?
Bali, South Korea, Europe. It's too.
You're in the Dominican too, right?
Yeah, the DR. Yeah, that's just to name a few.
Just to name a few. And the reason that I asked you that question, here's the reason that I asked you that question. Somewhere in the world, in the United States, in Chicago, in Englewood, right? There's probably another little Black girl who doesn't know that, you know, these things are possible for her as well, right?
That
These
is
are some of the possibilities. So that there's a method behind my madness to my questions, right? I'm not just trying to get in your business just to get in your business, right? Because I know you're all about helping people. And it's just amazing to me some of the things that you've been able to do. I remember before I started my private practice and I was working with this nonprofit and I received a phone call from you and you asked me if I had anybody that you could donate to. You said you wanted a single mother that you could donate to. And I provided you with some information and I know that you helped those people.
I did, yes. That was my Christmas present to myself. Because I was a single mom, right? I was raising 2 kids by myself with no help from their fathers. My family, oh my goodness, they're so amazing. They've always been there. But I wanted to extend the hand to someone that could have been in the same situation that I was in. And I just needed a little help. So I wanted to give that help to someone. No strings attached. I didn't have to know her. And I have not talked to that lady since. And I didn't let her know what I was doing. I just invited her, let's have a Danish or a smoothie in a conversation. So, yes.
I remember that. I talked to her afterwards. And she was absolutely blown away. She did not expect any of these things. She had tears in her eyes. And she just talked about how you just presented yourself with such humility. Because, you know, these type of endeavors in the early part of the 20th century when social work was born and struggling to become a profession, right? You had some of these same acts, but these acts were they had the stench of classism associated with it, right? So in other words, there was like a big movement of like moral reform. So the people would go and say the reason that your life is like this because you lack morality, right? And of course, we've improved since then, because that was like in the 1920s. We've improved since then, but, you know, just the fact that, you know, that lady came back to me because her son was on my caseload, actually, right? And she came back to me and she was like, thank you so much. You know, that's such a wonderful lady. She's so nice. I never felt like she was judging me. And she just went on and on. And I was just like, you know, these are the type of people that I try to surround myself with. You know, I don't judge you or your family either, but I'm not going to send you anywhere that would put you into harm's way, or introduce you to anybody that would do as such, right? So so that was cool. I thought that was really, really cool. So let me ask you this. What are some of the stages of life that you know that you have been faced with, addressed, and possibly persevered through? Because we all go through our stages, right? You didn't start off as an entrepreneur, a businesswoman with a solid mind state, with these values and principles. You didn't start off like that. You were a little girl in Englewood, right?
Exactly.
So that's why I'm asking you the question, because somebody out here needs to know this.
Ooh, okay. There's a lot. I've had trauma. I had a daughter taken from me. I've had relationships go left. You know, growing up, I always looked up to my mom and dad. They've always been there, right? Mm-hmm. But as adults, you understand that people make mistakes. Mm-hmm. And just because a person made a mistake doesn't make them a bad person. Mm-hmm. And that they were out to maliciously do something to hurt you. Sometimes life happens. Mm-hmm. And it's not what happens to us, it's how we respond to it. So I want to say that's what helped me transition from all the hurt of my past. People making me feel a certain way because I didn't follow the crowd and I wasn't always doing what everybody else was doing. It was okay to just be me. Right. Quiet, laid back. I can say that I was a nerd in school. I didn't get the best grades. I remember telling my parents, like, hey, I'm just going to see my way through it. I just want to. But from there, I've learned that it's not good to judge other people or compare people to say, well, hey, your cousins are getting A's and B's. You hang with them. Why are you not doing it? I'm not them. And if you knew what they did, you probably wouldn't want me hanging with them. So, and I didn't feel the need to justify who I was to other people. So I didn't have to throw my cousins under the bus to make me feel better or to have people look at me a different way. It's like, okay, well, that's how you feel. It's okay. And that's just my attitude.
You know what? That's so very powerful, though. And I just want to share with the world that she's not fronting. She's not fronting. This is who she is. This is who she's been since I've known her. And you know, I've seen you evolve, but at your core, this is who you have been, right? So I just really, really appreciate that. It's just amazing. It's just amazing because so many people follow trends and never really find within them the beauty of who they are, right? Because we all have beauty within us, and if we just get comfortable with ourselves, we will be amazed as to what we will find inside of us and be able to use to achieve, you know, things beyond our wildest dreams. Like you and I are both living it, right? So,
right.
Yeah, that's really, really powerful. So let me ask you this, because I know that you study your craft. I know that you study your craft. I've talked with you about it. Who are some of your favorite entrepreneurs and or accountants? Like, who would you put on your Mount Rushmore,
Okay, there you
so
go.
to speak?
Some of them wouldn't be accountants.
Okay.
However, the first person I would put on there would be Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Okay.
He has a book out, The Secret Law of Attraction. Okay. The next person would be John C. Maxwell. He talks about leadership. I've learned a lot about leadership, right? And the best way to lead someone is you got to become a follower first. You got to know the person you're following. It's not good to follow everybody. So those two. Right now, because I'm practicing and trying to learn more about podcasting, I would say Dave Shans. Dave Shans has taught me so much in reference to podcasting and pushing me out there, as he's doing a lot of people right now, into the field of podcasting. And not only audio and video, what you're doing also.
Yeah.
So that's 3. Okay, so the 4th one, can I split it? Because
we'll give you an honorable mention. Go ahead. Okay. It's cool.
Then I'm going to say my mom and my dad.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
They are so supportive, and they've been there since day one. Like, I can call my mom and dad right now and tell them, hey, I need you to go do this. No questions asked. They'll get it done. And I'm working on being a better daughter to them.
Oh, okay. That's always good. I need to work on being a better son. No, I'm just joking around, but no, that's wonderful. I know your mom and your dad, and I marvel at the relationship that you guys have, like individually and collectively, right? So that's pretty cool. Let me ask you this question. Were you or your family affected by the pandemic?
Of course. Yes. It didn't, because I worked for a construction company also, work didn't stop. I still went to work every day. I wouldn't say it hit us financially, socially, and emotionally, what the pandemic brought out.
Yeah. So did anybody get sick? Were your family members okay in terms of, we couldn't be around one another, as we once would have, kind of been just partying and socializing and kicking it and not really, caring about, how we interacted. But all of that had to come to a halt somewhat. So was your family reasonably healthy throughout the process of the pandemic?
They were. It's a blessing. Yeah. My mom, my dad, my kids, everybody in my immediate circle was okay.
Good.
Of course, I practice. I have a Chinese doctor, acupuncture, and I'll let herbs in a minute. Herbs, liquid Vicks, get a humidifier. Yes, I preach a lot about different things in reference to taking care of us in our bodies. So.
You haven't found time to take me to your acupuncture doctor, so I'm looking forward to that at some point.
Okay.
Now we're going to move to one of your favorite subject matters.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's your self-care routine?
My self-care routine right now is mostly meditation, increasing my quiet time and my rest, because I've had issues with like getting consistent rest, right? Like I'll go to sleep for 2 hours and wake up, right? And with all that I'm doing right now, that's not healthy. Of course, I watch my diet. I always drink cucumber water. I take sea moss every day. I would like to start exercising again, like I used to love to ride my bike, but I haven't been able to do it because, of course, you know, I moved to a new location and I haven't found a bike route that would be safe, because the traffic over here, people drive like they're out of their minds, right? As you know, as opposed to where I lived before, I could just go right to 63rd Street, ride under the viaduct, and I was on the lakefront, right? So I can't do that anymore. Why? Do you have any suggestions?
No. So that's another thing. I've learned a lot from you in reference to eating and vitamins and herbs that you take. So I've been watching you over the years. I just wanted to.
Yeah, but I'm kind of having to rearrange my schedule now and reacclimate myself because I'm doing more. I just took on a 4 to 5 year commitment, and I added that on to what I was already doing. So it's like I'm right now, I'm presently in the process of making the adjustment right now as we speak. Like, you know, just the time that it takes to record a podcast is very valuable. Every moment of the day is very valuable to me now. I don't have time to sit around and watch a TV show, or just sometimes I would sit in my backyard and maybe light a cigar and just I would what I do is I talk to my garden, and I kind of like talk to the ancestors. I talk to my grandmother who's no longer with us, and other people who have left us, and I'll ask for guidance and clarity and things like that. But not that I'm going to necessarily cut that all the way off, but all of my time is accounted for now. Like every minute of the day is definitely accounted for. I have to make it count, right? I have to be useful and active with my time. I have no downtime, really, except for when I'm sleeping, maybe. So.
Well, that's what that self-care routine is going to help you know that you are a priority.
Yeah. I was just reading that. It's ironic you should say that. I was just reading that not long ago, that you have to put yourself first. You don't need to feel bad about having to say no or not picking up the phone if you're not emotionally and psychologically in a place where you feel like talking, right? And I was like, wow, that's simple but powerful, right? Because that doesn't mean you hold any malice toward the person who's calling. It just means that that's not where I am right now. And I'm on a mission, so I need to have this tunnel vision to see my mission through. But enough about me once again, because you're tricking me. You're starting to ask questions about me. Let's talk about you. Here's one of your favorite subject matter, though.
Okay.
What are you presently reading?
Oh, awesome. Okay, so right now it's Bets by Annie Duke. Let me grab my phone. Give me 1 second. Thinking in Bets by Annie Duke.
Okay.
And I'm about to reread The Alchemist.
I had that book, and I never finished it. And it's not even a long read, but I just never finished it. I think I'm about 3/4 way through it.
No, that's an amazing book. I read it the first time. And now I'm with Dave Shands in our morning meetup. And we're reading, and we just finished reading Annie Duke's, what's that, Bets? Thinking in Bets. And now we're going on to The Alchemist.
So let me ask you this. I know you've been reading for a long time. We've always talked about books.
Yes.
What are the top 3 books that you've read in your life?
I'm going back to Dr. Wayne Dyer's Secret Law of Attraction. Mm-hmm. The second will be, let me get the author's name, but it's Don't Sweat the Small Stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's small.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that book. I need to grab that. I ain't got no leisure time, though. So. But yeah, I got it on my bookshelf.
And I want to say it's T.D. Jakes, the one that said, "Let it go."
Those are your top 3 of all time?
I'm very confident in my first 2. Mm-hmm. T.D. Jakes. It was either T.D. Jakes or what's her name? Joyce Myers.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them talks about past situations, circumstances, and how you can't let your past rob you of your future.
Yeah. You can't let your past dictate your future. Because if I did that, one thing you were saying earlier about not judging people and being able to think for yourself and, blazing your own trail. I know for myself for sure, one area of growth within myself that I'm most proud of is the ability to separate the behavior from the person, right? To separate the behavior from the person. Because a person might do some fucked up stuff, right? But that doesn't necessarily define them as a person. That's just their behavior, right? And behavior can change. And I'm evidence of it, right? And so if I'm going to judge somebody, I need to think about a whole lot of my behavior from the past, right? And if somebody had held who I am as a person to that behavior, if they had judged me by my behavior and labeled me as a person by that behavior, then, we wouldn't be here today, not in this capacity, right? And so, but that's one of the most powerful things that I've learned over the years. And that is one of the main ingredients to having a high level of peace and serenity, right? Because typically, when we're judging people, it takes so much energy from us. It's like we're dissecting and we're looking at the person through such a microscope that we lose sight of what our mission is and whatever projects we're working on or our personal inventory, right? So I'm so happy that I'm able to do that and I'm able to do it relatively quickly these days. And it's been a work in progress because I haven't always been where I am now, and I still need work, but I'm better than I've ever been before in that regard. So I'm really happy about that because we're not our behavior, we're not our activity, we're not our job. Who are we really? We're spirits inside these bodies. In my opinion, trying to get back to where we came from. And none of us are perfect. Like we're navigating this world and just trying to find our purpose in it. So it's all good. It's all good. So next question.
Yeah.
What type of music does Veronica listen to?
R&B, love songs, inspiring, uplifting, encouraging.
Love songs?
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Why love songs, though? I'm curious.
I'm a hopeless romantic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And R&B. When I was younger, I didn't like the old school, the music that my mom and dad listened to.
You got to be kidding me. You didn't like Al Green and Barry White?
I didn't care. But now, giving the lyrics that the young people are speaking on today, yeah, I'll listen to that before I listen to the current music.
Yeah. Who are some of your favorite artists, R&B artists?
Okay, so I would say Jaheim, Life Jennings.
Oh, you like those 90s artists. You like Jodeci? You like Jodeci?
Jodeci was okay.
Drew Hill?
Okay.
New Edition? What about New Edition?
I love New Edition.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
What are some of your...
Oh, my God. You know I'm all over the place. And I don't know why you're trying to take over my podcast and start interviewing me. You have your own podcast. Why don't you have me on as a guest?
Let me know when you got to schedule it.
You know I have a vast music collection and many, many genres. So what we're going to do here is we are going to afford you an opportunity to tell a story of your choice. All right? But hold on, because I need to tell the world the name of this segment of our interview. My question to you, have you ever smoked weed in your life?
No.
Okay. Well, I have smoked weed in my life. I no longer smoke. I haven't smoked in probably almost 30 years. But the name of the final segment of this podcast is called Bring Some Weed. I got a story to tell. And of course, we don't smoke, right?
Correct.
But in this segment, we like to afford our guests to tell a story of their choice, no matter what that story is. It could be a personal experience. It could be something you read. It could be something that you that you received as a message from like the ancestors or even your parents, right? Well, no matter what the story is, you are afforded the opportunity to tell a story of your choice. So now is your time.
Okay. Which story would I like to share? I guess I'm going to tell a personal story.
Okay.
Right after me losing my daughter, I'm pretty sure I was in a place that I didn't recognize. So my daughter was a twin, and then I have a son. My son is the oldest, and then I had a set of twins. So I remember not wanting to get out of bed. I couldn't see past what I was going through in that moment, right? So I probably stayed in bed for a minute. My cousin was sharing with me. But one morning, I had a conversation with myself. And it said, hey, Veronica, you can stay in that bed and you can sit in whatever it is you're feeling and thinking. But while you're doing that, you have two other kids here that need you, your love and support. So yes, you did lose a daughter, and that's hard. However, it's even harder for you to lose one and let two slip through your hands. So if you don't have it in you to get up and do or be better, then what chance do they have? What type of person do you want them to be? So since I still at that moment couldn't do it for myself, I decided to live for my son and daughter and become an overbearing parent. I just wanted to be in all decisions that was made in their life. I wanted to have a say so. So that was part of my self journey to help me become the young lady that I am today, because it's not what happened to me, it's how I'm responding to what's happening to me. That's the message I want to share with people.
That's a cold story. That's a cold story. And that story paid off because both your son and your daughter are doing relatively well. You know, I'm so proud of both of them, especially C, you know, that's like my little partner right there. And then DJ, he avoids me, but I know he still cares about me a lot too. And if I can catch him, he'll listen to me too. I just got to catch him though. No, I really appreciate that story. That was really, really powerful. And I kind of knew that, but I didn't really know the details. And man, it's just funny how sometimes the Creator works for us and with us and through us, right? So, but with that being said, do you have any closing remarks?
Thank you. I appreciate you so much for having me on your platform. Looking forward to having you on mine.
Yeah. Okay, so that concludes another episode of Chicago's ILLectuals podcast. For Veronica White, I am the kid, Ron Allen. We will see you next time. Peace, 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 peace.